Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching NDTV. Even as Lok Sabha poll action intensifies, Home Minister Amit Shah is in Karnataka today and he's leading a grand roadshow in rural Bengaluru, the one seat that the Congress won in 2019 in Karnataka. During the day, he accused Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar of neglecting the interests of the state due to their internal power tussle. Now, Shah was speaking to representatives from BJP's Shakti Kendras, which are basically clusters of booths from the Lok Sabha constituencies of Bengaluru North, South, Central, Rural and also Chikkaballapura. At least 3 of these seats have witnessed intense infighting among prospective candidates in the last few days. Mr. Shah also met BJP and JDS workers together to ensure better coordination on the ground and also to address potential issues of conflict. This infighting is also prevalent in the Congress. In fact, in seats such as Kolar, the party has seen full-blown rebellion and tussle between local ticket seekers. That brings us to the question we're asking tonight. Will Karnataka, the BJP's gateway to the south of India, a state that the Congress swept last year in the assembly polls, vote like it did in 2019 or pose a surprise? Will the centre's welfare, Narendra Modi factor and the JDS-BJP alliance overpower the Congress guarantees and Siddaramaiah's caste matrix? That's a question we are asking tonight. Joining me is Mr. Sankeet of the BJP and Aishwarya Mahadev of the Congress and political analyst Mr. Shugata Srinivasaraju. Thank you all of you for joining me on this show. Aishwarya, I would like to ask you this. The Congress's recent list has, so many names of children of 5 cabinet ministers and also the wife of 1. Is this because the leaders of Congress themselves are unwilling to contest, or do you think there's more fodder for the BJP that has always targeted your party for being, driven by a dynasty?
Hilariously, good evening. I think hilariously the fact that Mr. Yeddyurappa's son is state president in an MLA and his other son happens to be a member of parliament. You also see several families in the BJP, but obviously when they do something, it seems perfectly all right. But when anybody else does, that is where they start pointing fingers. The hypocrisy is extremely blatant. Let's make 2 things very clear. One, in all of our seats, all 28, there is cohesion, there is coordination, and there is cooperation. They might have been 1 or 2 tiny instances, for example, Kolar, as you mentioned, but we've given a Congress worker the ticket there. All the leadership is willing to work. Even Mr. Munyappa, who wanted a ticket for a family member, is saying that he's going to work. And I believe that shows you the strength of the Congress here. And the second, let me just highlight a few things, right? When you talk about rebellion and dissension, Chitradurga still hasn't seen a solution for the Chalkere MLA saying that he's going to have his son contest. You see in Belgavi, there's opposition to Jagdish Shettar. You see in Bangalore North that Shobha Karnalaje was asked to go back. You see in Mandya that Sumalata Ambrish, the BJP, BJP supported MP, who was not given a ticket, who has refused to working with the JDS. You saw in Mysore a sitting MP replaced. You see Mr. Yeddyurappa even today saying whether Mr. Modi or Savarkar himself comes to tell me to not contest, I'm going to contest in Shimoga.
But Aishwarya, from Mallikarjun Kharge's son-in-law to Lakshmi Hebalkar's son to, so many leaders' sons and daughters are sort of making their debut in this whole election. This would actually prompt the BJP to attack you more on the dynasty politics, isn't it? But let me, let me get this answer from the BJP also. I'll come back to you. Sankeet, like Aishwarya was also talking, we've seen infighting in North Bengaluru. We saw this whole Shobha Karandalaje versus Sadanand Gowda play out. We also saw what happened in Koppal, and Mr. Yeddyurappa, who was one of your senior leaders, he had to be called to Delhi to be pacified. We don't know what's going to happen, if he's going to fight elections or not. How much do you think these instances will affect your party's prospects? Because Amit Shah himself had to be there today and he is actually addressing these issues, isn't it?
Good evening. Firstly, Amit Shah is on a tour to Karnataka regarding the organizational activities, and there is an election which is upcoming in the April 26th. So regarding that, he's on a tour to Karnataka. Firstly, if you see in the Congress, there were no candidates who were ready to fight the elections. First, the ministers was advised and they were told to contest the elections, which none of the ministers agreed and said. And second, hilariously, if you see children coming to summer holidays, their children have been given ticket and they are asked to fight just to make as a face saver. So if you see the statistics of Karnataka, in the last 2019 election, we had won 25 seats individually, one an outside supported MP, Second was a NDA member. So 27 seats we had won comfortably in the 2019 election, even though there was a coalition government with the Congress in power. So this is the kind of the if you see the tussle or if you see the infighting is definitely a common factor in any of the both of the parties. But today Amit Shah himself has taken up the core committee meetings of all the five Lok Sabha constituencies where there were issues. So it has been addressed and it has been resolved. As far as Mr. Yeddyurappa is concerned, he is the senior most party leader and definitely he'll also be addressed shortly.
Shugata sir, you've written this wonderful book on Devi Gowda. Tell us the importance of DK Suresh and also someone like CN Manjunath, because my BJP sources tell me that if there is one place in Karnataka where the alliance seems to be working, it is Bengaluru Rural.
Yeah, thank you, Aishwarya. Yes, Bangalore Rural has been made a prestige kind of fight by the BJP as well as the JDS. See, it's interesting because the candidate who's contesting there on the BJP ticket is the son-in-law of Mr. H.D. Devegowda, and he is the whole of Karnataka and perhaps a good deal of India knows that he is a well-known cardiac surgeon. And he has earned his name and fame on his own, and he has never been dependent on Devegowda for that. And he's seen as a very credible face. And I mean, if you look at the groundswell of support that he has already received there, I'm being very cautious here. I'm not trying to say that DK Suresh is a walkover. DK Suresh is a formidable candidate, and Manjunath has to still put in a lot of work because that constituency has a lot of, especially parts of that constituency has a minority concentration, and they are not inclined to go towards the BJP. They have to put in a lot of work, but it looks like for the first time in many years, the BJP has put up a strong candidate and the JDS has put up a strong candidate against DK Suresh. And this is a very symbolic thing, because if DK Suresh loses, then it reflects on DK Shivakumar. Similarly, if Mysore is lost, it reflects on Siddaramaiah, their home bases, basically. So that is why Bangalore Rural seems to be very, very important and interesting. And rightly or whatever, Amit Shah has made, has started his campaign from that. It sends out that signal that they want to knock off the support base or the base of DK Shivakumar.
Right.
I think that is basically the symbolism involved there.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very tough game. It's not that Dr. Manjunath is going to have an easy thing over there.
Aishwarya, would you respond to that? Because DK Suresh in the last few days has also emerged as this newsmaker, because, this whole North versus South divide has been highlighted. He has spoken about devolution of funds. We saw the protest happening in Delhi, and also this old Mysuru thing, because last year we did see the slide that JDS faced, but this time BJP and JDS are in an alliance. What are your ground reports suggesting, and how is the Congress preparing to take on, the JDS and the BJP combined?
A few responses also to the BJP spokesperson. When you talk about dynasty and whatnot, last year the BJP, which had a prime minister saying we are against Parivarvad, offered an unprecedented 34 tickets, to their MLA candidates. Even today, members and dynasty members are also being given ticket in the Lok Sabha. So the hypocrisy is also evident. The second thing, when they said a strong candidate against DK Suresh, I'll give you an example. In Kanakpura last year, they had one of their tallest ministers, Mr. R. Ashok, contest against Mr. DK Shivakumar. DK Shivakumar won with the highest margin, one of the highest margins in the state, as he has successfully. That was the story of their strong candidate. And now coming down to DK Suresh as a parliamentarian, irrespective of political party, whatever it is, the work that has been done on the ground, whether it is irrigation, whether it is schools, he is also been awarded, along with the former Lok Sabha member who's no longer with us, Mr. Dhruv Narayan, as being one of the best parliamentarians there is, whether it is for the utilization of funds or to ensure CSR. He has been an extremely responsible parliamentarian. And the sad thing is, while all respect to the Devegowda family, I believe they have been reduced so much that a member of their own family was forced to join the BJP in order to contest this seat. And
Right.
the old Mysore region, which the JDS holds as what they think is their bastion, was swept because they worked on their vote bank. And what Mr. Devegowda had said is that, I will never go to the BJP, I will disown my own son if we do. Today is trumpeting and talking about how Mr. Modi is the prime minister we need. I don't know if it is politicking, I don't know if it's opportunism, but the JDS is a spent force. Their frustration is evident since the loss of Nikhil Kumaraswamy in Ramnagar, which is a majority caste
Right.
seat for them, but a minority candidate beat him there. That is also the power of DK Suresh because it was his battle that he fought there.
Okay,
The Congress is on-
Sanket, would you like to respond to that? Also, one of the
Yes,
things that Yeddyurappa said today is that the BJP is in clutches of one family, and it is very similar to the allegations that you raise against Congress. Do you see your party becoming very dependent on BS Yeddyurappa, specifically after last year, and if that is going to be of any advantage to you?
Firstly, the people of Bangalore Rural will definitely choose between a cardiac surgeon who has done a very wonderful job in the health sector, or someone who is definitely in people who they are troubling the people, who is not with the people, and definitely who had a very different background. So definitely people of Bangalore Rural will choose. Secondly, if you see, Mr. Yeddyurappa's statement is an individual statement that the party does not endorse. BS Yeddyurappa is the tallest leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and under his guidance and leadership, we have won many elections, and definitely we are facing election too. If that was the scenario, why is Mr. Siddaramaiah in his own hometown telling that if you don't give me a lead of 50-60,000, I will not be there anymore? This is definitely accepting defeat. The Congress is definitely considered defeat, and there is an MLA who says, if you do not vote for us, if you do not vote for the Congress, all these guarantees will be stopped. This is definitely conceding defeat. This is a hit wicket what you are trying to go to the people of Karnataka. The Congress do not have any issues to go with the people of Karnataka. What will they say? Will they say we are not given drinking water and the water scarcity in Bangalore? They say only brand Bangalore is only on the hoardings or advertisements. What issues do they have? And these guarantees, they say Gurulakshmi is not reaching the people of Karnataka. All these things have been already. To deviate these kind of an issues, they are making up different ones. Congress don't have issues to go to the people of
Aishwarya,
Karnataka.
would you like to respond
Hence,
to that?
that's the
Because
reason
some of
they're
these
raking up
things
new
are very
issues,
important,
really.
the drinking water crisis and also some of the failed guarantees that, BJP has been alleging, and also many, people's groups have also been talking about. Do you think that is going to impact the Congress prospects? And also there's pressure on the Congress party, right, to perform well in Karnataka. This is probably the only big state that the party is in power.
Vasudha, I was just watching the segment just before this started, where your channel itself had covered how Bangalore is dealing with the water crisis, including the central government having applauded Karnataka for the sort of wastewater management that is happening, also for the sort of rejuvenation efforts that are happening, also for the next Kaveri phase that is going to provide enough water. I think that that issue is sufficiently addressed by my leader, Mr. DK Shivakumar, who is the irrigation minister. And the second part about, Mr. Yeddyurappa,
there is an issue.
Sanket, let her finish. Yeah.
When you're talking about, hello?
Yes, Aishwarya, please go on.
Yeah, when you're talking about this entire idea of Mr. Yeddyurappa and how he's such a big leader, I still remember the time he cried when you forced him to step down as CM. I still remember the time you tried to deny his son, an opportunity, also deny him a ticket. Now that you realize Mr. Bommai was an absolute failure, and then the caste that supports him the most is still backing him, you realize that you need Mr. Yeddyurappa. But finally, Karnataka and the Congress here, whether it's the guarantees, the list of beneficiaries, there are crores of people who have an opportunity today because of the fact that we are saving them against inflation, against price rise, allowing them the empowerment through travel. See, it is easy for the BJP where they say if you give people free ride, they become lazy. But in their own manifesto, they had promised several of those things.
Okay,
because
Sanket, before I go to Shugata, sir, for the last word, Karnataka is also a very crucial battle for your party. What are the lessons that you've learned after the assembly polls, the drubbing that you saw last year, or is it just going to be about Mr. Modi again?
See, firstly, the Congress spokesperson should not mislead the people of Karnataka. The water scarcity, when we protested against the BWSSP and we gave a memorandum to the BWSSP chairman who was on your TV a few while ago, he clearly told that this is the situation till May 15. We don't have an alternative. So this is the kind of thing. There are crores of rupees apartments which don't have been proper water supply. Is this what is brand Bengaluru that you are trying to post to the people of Karnataka? The Gruhalakshmi, the famous Gruhalakshmi, you claim you have lied in the assembly that you have given Gruhalakshmi scheme to 1.31 crore people of Karnataka. After 51 lakhs, suddenly the software crashes. Suddenly there is a technical issue. So
Right.
this is the kind of the guarantee. This is the double standards of the Congress party. Secondly,
Okay. Shugata sir, last word from you. I'm short on time, please. Shugata sir, how do you see 2024 being different from 2019? Because, Congress in Karnataka is not the Lingayat party. It's not even the Vakaliga party now. There is infighting. Both in the BJP and the Congress, you've seen Veerappa Moily and also people like Yeddyurappa and also the representation that's being promised. How do you see 2024 being different, sir?
Vasudha, I think one or two clarifications. I think Aishwarya mentioned about Ashok. There has been some kind of a pushback. They don't want him as the in charge of the BJP in Bangalore Rural, precisely for the reason that she mentioned, because it looks like he compromised with DK Shivakumar. That is the allegation, at least, against him. So they want him out so that there's someone who works far more seriously for the party. So our Ashok is not an issue. And the point number two, I'm no spokesperson for the JDS, but I think spokespersons of other parties should come a little, prepared, so that they know that the JDS has 18% to 20% vote share in the old Mysore region and has a very strong presence in 18 Lok Sabha constituencies. I'm going by data. I have no intention of sort of countering any of the spokespersons there. One. And two, you asked me about 2019 and 2024. The differences in 2024. Now, there's a greater demand for the BJP ticket. That is a fact. Because 18 out of 28 people who are contesting from the Congress party are either sons or daughters or wives of existing ministers. Mr. Kharge should have, led the charge. He should have contested from Gulbarga, or at least asked his son, Priyank, to contest. I don't know why he sort of just disappeared from the whole scene. And if Mrs. Gandhi is not contesting, if Mr. Kharge is not contesting, if Rahul is not contesting from Amethi, and if they are unable to decide on Rai Bareli, I think it sends a very, very wrong signal. And that signal has already reached Karnataka, because they're unable to sort of, even before the ball was bowled, first ball was bowled, they seem to have conceded because no senior person wanted to contest. So that's the sorry state of Congress. And the BJP is battling because there is competition, there is hope that they will win.
Right.
And last time, but the Congress is sure to improve, because last time they won one seat, and they certainly will go up from 1 to say 5 or 6.
So big test for the Congress and the BJP. Thank you all of you for joining us on this show.